Happy October, everybody. We turn the calendar over to the 10th month of the year. And with that, you know what it means. We have September real estate numbers in for everybody. So stick with me. We're going to break down all of our usual suspects, Toronto freeholding condos, as well as Durham, York, and Peel regions. We're going to get right into all that, starting off with what is going on with median prices. But before we get into the charts that you all know and love, I ask that you please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel or if you just haven't gotten around to it, it really helps me reach more people just like you, bringing straight up information each and every single week to keep you well informed on what is going on with our crazy real estate market right now. And as always, that opportunity to book a one-on-one call is there for you. Down below in the description of this video is a link to my Calendly page where you can book a time directly in my calendar. We can hook up, talk about all things real estate, your home, your neighborhood, your town, whatever it is you want. As promised, let's get into some GTA median sale prices. Toronto freehold and York region both at around that $1.2 million mark for a median sale this past month of September. Peel region 954,000, Durham region 850,000, and the Toronto condo coming in at $680,000. Bit of an uptick in the Toronto freehold and York region as well as Toronto condos. Slight increases. Peel region saw a bit of a decrease month to month, and Durham region has been flat, sitting at $850,000 for the median price point, going all the way back to July. One thing to note here is just how this gap is closing between Durham region and the Toronto condo market. Toronto condo move up buyers a lot of times want to stay in Toronto, but when that gap is closer, kind of around this $200,000 just less that we're seeing right now, it makes the move into the suburbs a little more realistic if you have a product to sell to move up to that next home. And we've been tracking this all year long. People love to use the year-over-year stats when they're working for them to kind of pump this real estate market up. But we are running out of regions that are up year over year. In fact, it's only the Toronto condo market at this point in time. So despite kind of the month to month, I don't want to call them resurgence in prices, it's more so being flat in a few different areas. Everybody is down, being led by Toronto freehold down 8.6% year over year. Durham region and York region are around 5.75. Then the last region not named Toronto condos that was holding out was Peel region, but it is down, as you can see now, 1.76% from where prices were last year. So just to back it up quickly and to use this data, if you pause the video, put your ruler up to the screen and draw a line right across from where we are in September of 2022, kind of give you a good idea of comparables you can be looking at, whether you're looking to list your home or to make an offer on a property in one of these areas. Again, this is maybe a bit general of an exercise. You want to kind of get really neighborhood specific, but just to give you a rough idea of where we are at with prices compared to last year at this time. We will keep it going with our new listings, and every year we make a big deal about the fall market, how September, a lot of people wait to list their homes till after Labor Day, after everybody's enjoyed their summer. Not the usual trend we saw, especially in Durham region and Peel, where we actually saw decreases in the number of new listings hitting the market month to month. So if we go back to 2021, this is August and this is September, you can see everybody saw an increase in inventory, and that's a pattern you're going to see every single year, with the exception of the odd few. But you look over here now, Peel region down month over month. Durham, same thing. York was up, but just by a fraction. And we saw Toronto freehold and Toronto condos. A lot more people put their homes on the market in September than we saw back in August. Sales totals, on the other hand, everybody was actually down. Toronto freehold looks like they may be up just a little bit here, but it's by, I think, 3 sales they came within of September and August. Everybody else down pretty significantly month over month, and that has been the trend going back to March. So it's good to know kind of listing numbers and sales numbers on a month-to-month basis, but I want to break it down for you in a slightly different way, where we're going to look at active inventory and the rate of sales and what that has been doing going back to kind of the beginning of May. So let's hop into those two charts. First off is our active listing inventory. So what I do is every single week, usually on a Monday or a Tuesday, I take a snapshot in time of exactly what is happening with inventory across all of our markets. So you can see that really inventory peaked sometime in June-ish, kind of, late June, we'll call it, and has been on a downward trend ever since. In a normal year, you would see a bit more of a spike, I'd say, in September in inventory. And we know that it was Toronto condos and Toronto freeholds who saw the biggest jump in listings month to month. So it makes sense that their active inventory kind of spiked the most. But if you're going to look at this kind of big picture going back to May, you can see everybody is kind of in line with where they were at the beginning of May at this point in time, at least. So within like a couple hundred active listings of each other. It's this next slide that I want to show you where you're going to see what has really been affecting the months of inventory, and that is the rate of sales. I'd say without doubt, no matter what line you choose, you're seeing the rate of sales has fallen off pretty drastically right across the GTA, going back even probably a little earlier than this, but May is when I started really tracking this a lot. And you can see that from almost 1,500 sales in a 30-day period, now Toronto condos are down to 854 most recently. Everybody was up over 1,000, between 1,000 and 1,500, and now everybody is down below 1,000, with Durham region actually being below 600 sales every 30 days at the beginning of October. This is important for you to know as a buyer and as a seller, because as a buyer, you have a little bit more time to make this decision. I've been preaching the same message over and over and over again. You have a bit more time. And as a seller, you really need to be practicing patience, because, unless you're priced extremely, extremely low, buyers are not really blowing your doors off to get through to look at properties at this point in time. You need to be priced extremely aggressively for that to happen. Here's another trend that we've been seeing emerge kind of in the last month, 2 months, is that the days on market numbers have, I don't want to call them peaked, but they seem to be peaking a little bit. And as the days on market start to normalize, you may see sales volume / prices start to normalize a bit. So I think that's why this is important. Prices were the highest back in February and March when these days on market were the shortest. And as days on market have started to increase, prices have started to come down, the number of sales have started to come down, so sales volume has come down as well. So as we see this start to crest, let's see if the same thing happens with prices and with sales. Question for you: do you think that this days on market number is going to be a good indicator of what we see going forward with prices and with total volume or total number of sales? Let me know in the comments below what you see happening over the next couple of months. Keeping you posted on what is going on with showings. So we saw a bit of a decrease in activity from August to September. This is nothing out of the ordinary. Because this is on a per new listing basis, whenever we see, an increase in new listings or a decrease in showings, we're going to see these numbers go down. So it's just telling you that, A, we know in Toronto, more listings at the market, in New York region, more listings at the market from August to September. Active inventory increased. So yes, the showings per new listings went down. But in Peel region and in Durham, where we saw less listings in September than in August, it's telling me that there are less buyers out there looking at properties. Same thing on the offers per new listing side. Historically, we will see that from August, when there's less inventory, to September, when there's more inventory, offers per new listing or per listing will come down month to month. But what I want to highlight is the difference between what we saw in 2021 and 2022, and we will do that on the next slide. We'll start up top with Toronto. So Toronto's held up the best in terms of showings. You're seeing about 14 per new listing back in September 2021. This year, September 2022, is just less than 14 for a change of only about 1%. It's pretty much a wash in my books. In terms of offers per new listing, they were down about 14.6%. The rate of offers from last September to this September. In Durham region, however, we saw the biggest decrease, from September 2021. We were down 47% in the rate of showings, and we were down almost 70% in the rate of offers. And then York and Peel regions, they really mirrored each other quite well, I'd say. September 21 to 2022, rate of showings was down 20% in York, and rate of offers was down about 44%, whereas in Peel region, rate of showings was down 22%, and the rate of offers was down 49%. And once again, all of this data is pulled from Broker Bay, a program that realtors use to both book showings and register offers on properties. So it kind of grabs all this data and throws them in nice graphs for us to present to you. So now we've touched on all of our big markets. The last thing I want to touch on is what is going on in the Toronto condo rental market, downtown specifically. So I did a video last week, which I'll link up here for you, about what is kind of going on in the Durham freehold rental market. And a lot of the headlines had been talking about how rents in the city had been going crazy as well. So your average one bedroom rental in Toronto right now is going for just over $2,600 per month. It's actually down a couple dollars per month from what we saw in August. If you look back to last year, we're following the same pattern as in 2021. A lot of this is the big rush for students coming back. It's the summers for rentals are usually the craziest time of year just because students need accommodations as they come back to the classrooms each year. But you can see we're still up over $400 per month from where we were last year at this time for a one bedroom. How about our two bedroom products? Kind of a similar pattern here. Spread is roughly the same, just under $400 per month for a two bedroom. We're up to $3,600 roughly per month for a two bedroom unit downtown. We saw a bit of that run up again in the summertime and a bit of a leveling off now. So, one more time for the comment section. Let me know, have we peaked in rents? Is that peak just for this year? Will we start to increase again next year, do you feel? Or do you think that kind of rents have hit that all time high and they will be on the decline or stay flat for some time to come? That is all we have for this month. And that's a wrap on September 2022 market stats. Again, let me know in the comments below, what do you think happens for the rest of the year in GTA real estate? Are prices going to stick to where they are right now for the rest of the year? Will these rate hikes that we were expecting both in October and December drive prices down even further? I want to know what you're thinking, as well as any other questions you may have. Put them down in the comments below. Thank you so much for sticking around to watch this entire video. I look forward to bringing you another monthly wrap up for all things GTA in a month's time. Stick with me for the Durham region recap, where I'll go over Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, and Oshawa. That'll be out later this week or next. If I don't speak to you before the Thanksgiving weekend, or maybe this came out afterwards, I hope you have/had a great Thanksgiving. Until we speak again next time, stay safe and cheers.